Number 14.
And
14,
we're back.
14. Just like the age of your girlfriends. 14.
Oh, damn.
Just kidding. Yeah, we took a little hiatus for a few days, but we're back with a vengeance. I got some good shit. I know you got some.
We're
good
back
shit.
with another hot show. Yeah, it's moving.
Yeah,
a lot of preparation goes into these shows.
Yeah, this shit we are raring to go this week. Let me tell you. So
okay. Fantastic.
So you're still in your hovel in East Jesus, correct?
Yeah, I'm still in my hovel. Can you hear me? How's the mic check? Mic check 1 2.
You're good.
So I'm still in the hovel.
I hear you well.
I'm still doing good. I've been out here for like 2 weeks, making art, and actually some of it's sold. So that's really good. You know,
love that.
Yeah, I need to make a few shekels. I mean, this is it for income coming in. Lord knows that no one's really knocking down the door for the Heeb and Goy show, but that is coming in. That is coming in the future.
It's coming.
We're gonna listen. We're gonna have large sponsorships and
yes. Brought to you by. That's right. One day.
Brought to you by. You know what? You know what we need. Brought to you by Hebrew National Hot Dogs and Hellman's Mayonnaise.
Hellman's, yeah.
I mean, they're stupid for not doing that.
I have 2 segments. I know you have 1. So why don't we go?
I want to get into yours.
I'll do 1, and then you do 1, and then I'll do the last one. So I have 2. I have 2 segments, and I'm gonna let you pick. I'm gonna let you pick the first one. I have Who's the Goy? That's 1 segment, right?
Right.
And then I have another segment, Only Fans.
All right, I want you to start out strong with Onlyfans because most likely, you know, just like songs and music and everything else, you got to grab them within the first couple minutes, right?
This one. Okay, so
it's time to get honest. Let's get real honest.
We've discussed this before, and so I went into a bit of a deep dive on stuff, and I came away with some very interesting things. So, as part of my job, I have to deal with social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. It's part of my job.
Right. Shit.
And when I go on Facebook now, I first have to log in just like a normal schmuck. Now, eventually, I'm in the back end doing stuff with their API and stuff. But when I log in, I'm just a normal guy. When I log in, I see some of my friends' things, but there's always these risque videos of young girls doing this shtick where they say to a guy, like, kiss or slap.
Okay, so it's the reels. You're talking about the reels that come up.
I'm gonna show you what I see. This is what I see. It's this girl. This is free. I put free. You'll see why in a minute. So this is this girl. And she's the one, for whatever reason, Facebook has decided that this is the girl for me.
And you know what, Dan? Are they wrong?
Well, I mean,
no.
Yes. I'm 50 years old. This girl's a kid.
Really?
So, but look, she's a pretty girl. I mean, no, not hating. She's a pretty girl. So I'm looking at this, and I see this every time I log in. Every time.
I wonder why that is.
And I'm just like, I'm like, so, okay. Morbid curiosity gets me. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is she getting out of this, right? I mean, she's getting gross guys like me to click on it and watch her shake her butt, like in the far right. You see she's shaking her butt there?
Yeah. So you went there, you're like, so what is the marketing? What is the financial
monetizing this?
How's she monetizing this?
So I went to her Facebook page. And lo and behold, she's promoting an OnlyFans.
Let me guess. It's got a little thing that says, click here for spicy links. Spicy links.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, spicy links means...
I'm a novice. I'm not going to lie. Like, I would admit it if I was into this stuff. But this is not my thing. It really is not. I've never even been to a strip club. It's not my thing, right?
I know. That's terrible.
At this point, I'm so fascinated by this. Like, I'm like, okay, I got to see what's doing here. Like, is she trying to sell? So as I'm looking at this, and you and I have discussed this in the past, I'm thinking to myself, okay, she's trying to lure you in on a $20 a month subscription. And I'm thinking, what is she going to show you for $20? And I'm thinking, and I said to myself, I'll bet it's the same shit. I will bet it's the same shit because look, ultimately, and I can't blame her, girls, they don't want to be putting all this stuff out there in public. I mean, it's hard to get away from that later in your life if she ever wants to have a career or whatever.
So you're thinking it's not how you were curious on like how porn like is this going to get?
What are we talking? Right. What is she selling is my question. Because this is free. You can see right there. It says right there. It says right there, free. So
Dan is showing, let me just explain. So Dan is showing to the video right now, like these little still shots of the Facebook reels where it's her just dressed in little, short shorts and, but she's fully clothed and it's no big deal. So now Dan is like, okay, so let's go to the OnlyFans and see what happens.
So I got to the OnlyFans and it's $20 a month, but there's a promo where the first month is $5 and you can cancel right away. I'm like, okay, this is worth $5 for me to know what's going on here. I gotta know. Right.
And to be clear, Dan, you're doing this. To be clear, you're doing this for the podcast. This is research for the podcast.
Yes, I'm doing it for the podcast. Right. I am. This girl, I am. I really am. I really am. So I say, all right, I gotta know. I gotta know. And I was almost positive going in. This is the beauty of being old, is you kind of can figure this shit out ahead of time. You can sort of suss it out. And
yeah, you see where this is going.
I'm gonna bet you that you plunk $5 and you're getting this plus 10%. Exactly what you're on the screen, plus 10%. That's what I think. So you ready?
What do you mean plus 10%? Plus a little less clothing, maybe a little more?
A little more risque, but basically the same thing. Okay. You ready? Are you ready?
Yeah. So now he's going to show me a screenshot of what he gets for $5 a month.
This is what you get for the $5. Now I've already canceled, right? But this is what you get.
Let me see. So now he's showing me pictures of basically she's now wearing thong bikinis. So there's a lot more ass showing. But there's straight up.
She's still fully clothed.
She's fully clothed. It's not. I mean, look, to talk in old school terms, you're not seeing any boobs. You're not seeing any beef. Nothing.
And it's fine. Honestly, I would have felt way more creeped out if there was something there. But I was almost positive there was nothing there, and I was right.
To confirm your suspicions.
But it gets better. Hold on, it gets better.
All right.
So I paid the $5 for the research, and I look at this and I'm like, I knew it. But there's a but, no pun intended.
All right.
There's these little messages you get. Hand to God, I had never been on OnlyFans before in my life.
Right? Yeah.
Hand to God. I swear. On my dear.
I'll talk about it in a little bit, but I'm a little more knowledgeable than you. So let me guess what happened. You started getting little text things that pop. Hey, buddy. Hey, Dan.
You get, and it's clearly from a guy. You can tell it's from a guy. It says it's from her, but it's like got this language. It's a guy, right?
Right.
And
you're getting texts.
No. It says not text on your phone. It's on the screen on the website. Right. It's like a message. It's almost like a private message. Okay. And it says, "Hey, would you like to see the full picture? Pay $12.70 right now, and we'll DM it to you." No, I did not do.
Right.
But I'm thinking to myself, so you're telling me that first I pay the money for the sub where I'm getting basically the same thing on Facebook with a little more butt, right?
Right.
With her making silly faces, basically.
Right.
And then you're going to send me a message saying, but if you pay a little more, we're going to send you the full picture privately. So I was curious to see if I did the $12 but I was like, this is enough. Come
on. Let's keep going. You paid the 12 and what did you say?
No, I can't do it. I can't.
Really?
There's no
not even for the podcast.
There's no good outcome.
For the sake of research.
No, there's no good outcome, and I'll tell you why. There's no good outcome because if I pay the $12 and it's more of this where she's like, where there's a text saying "I want you inside me" or whatever, and then
it's going to get ramped up, yeah.
And like the text is more raunchy, and then she's there with like the silly face. I would be annoyed I spent $12. If I get a naked picture of her, I'd be creeped out that I spent $12.
You'd feel bad about yourself on a couple different levels.
I would feel bad about myself. The first time I did this just to get the membership was I was morbid curiosity. It was only $5. Like, okay, but I'm not going any further. But like, I'm thinking to myself, somewhere there is a dude who thought that he's going to pay $20 for this and he's getting full on nude, right?
I don't know. No, they didn't. No, I don't think they think that. I think that they know because when you said, all right. So Dan sent me this stuff saying, "Hey, look what I did." This is like last week. And he goes, I'm so pissed off. I paid $5 and all I got is this. And I texted Dan back and I'm like, what did you expect, dude? It's $5.
No.
I mean, yes.
No. 5 is the introductory price. It's 20 a month. If you do not cancel,
dude, even for 20, what do you think you're getting? Like,
no. I don't have no. I have no expectations. I would have been creeped out if she was nude. I just was almost positive that what I would see would be basically this with a little less clothing, and that's about right. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. It was basically what you see on Facebook on public, but instead of like booty shorts and a crop top, she's in a bikini, and that's fine. God bless her. God bless her. I wouldn't want, if I was a girl, I wouldn't want to be getting nude on OnlyFans. God bless her.
Look, this, I completely support these girls. I definitely completely support all sex workers. It's real work. I know quite a few of them.
Does this count as sex work though? I don't think so.
When it gets to her okay, but she's skilled at it. She's skilled at sex work. She's skilled
in the sense that she's very pretty. That's
no. This is what I mean by this. She's skilled at the fact that she can monetize it, even if it's for $5 or $10 or something like that, and not get fully naked. Just like you said before, she doesn't want to have too much of her future being ruined by being buck naked and stuff like this. If she can generate money and not get totally naked, that's smart. That's really smart.
Hey, and God bless her. All I'm saying is this. Here's all I'm saying. In the end, the guys who log on for this are paying $20 a month for basically the same content as what's on Facebook with some raunchy text that's probably written by a guy. I'm just saying. I mean, that's the reality. That's the reality.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm a fan. I mean, I'll tell you my OnlyFans thing is that I'm really into this. And I would do it in a heartbeat. Problem is that it's the money. It's connected to your credit card. I don't really, and me and my better half, we are very honest with each other about money and just about everything. But this would be something that, and it's fine. Every partnership, you're allowed to have a couple private things to yourself. Absolutely. But the problem is that I don't have any sort of credit cards or something that's that she wouldn't see eventually. And I wouldn't be afforded the opportunity to have privacy with this. So therefore I don't do it. I did sort of try to be hey, is there a way I can do this? I have Googled, how can I do OnlyFans without having a credit card? Can I do this? Can I do that?
Are you going to send him a check?
Hello, honey. Will you take a check? No, I mean, I was just hoping there was some other way or something that doesn't somehow get back to you. But so I have
Bruce, I have an account now, and sadly, you're welcome to use mine.
So by the way, I want to share something with the audience too, because this threw me for a loop. Dan somehow. So I'm texting Dan about this creepy stuff, and Dan is texting me about this creepy stuff. Up on my phone pops a message from your better half.
Right.
It says, "Hey, I see you're both looking. That's funny about this girl." I'm like, how does Karen know that I'm?
She knows everything. She knows everything.
Yeah, but then it occurred to me. I'm like, oh, they're both sitting in your car, and on the computer screen on your car shows the text. So is that what was going on?
We were at a restaurant. No,
yeah, but it threw me for a loop. I'm like,
no, you text me. I started laughing, and she's like, "What are you laughing at?" And I said, "Okay, I'm going to tell you." I said, and I told her the whole story. I said, "There's this girl. She's always on Facebook. This, that, and the other. Blah blah blah." Kara gets a kick out of this shit. She thought it was funny.
I know, but it definitely threw me for a loop, because here I am speaking what I think to myself are these private creepy thoughts between me and Dan.
Yeah,
and then Kara just comes right in, like, "Oh, you this is pretty creepy." I'm like, why are you here?
Yeah, no, I know. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. I'm
funny. It's no big deal.
I didn't. The stuff.
I know. I threw me for a loop.
I don't share your stuff, dude. But I showed her the picture of the girl, and I was like, Bruce and I have been debating this girl and her charging for what is basically the same stuff.
She used a funny word. She said, "Look at what you two bozos are up to, like dorks." Like she used a word. Yeah. She used a word that was really funny, and because I also said something because I thought it was just me and you. I'm like, you're like, "Oh, check out this OnlyFans." I'm like, I haven't done it, but I really want to look at some midgets, aka little people, Right. And then then Kara's like, "Really?" And I'm like, why does she know about this?
Yeah. Look, man, I have no secrets from her. Like I don't. She doesn't care about any of this shit, and she knows me well enough to know that.
But basically, I was kind of like, I've had some experience doing this too because I'm interested in doing this. Like, but like I said, like in most partnerships, I want some privacy in certain things, and we understand that. That's totally fine. But I can't really do it without any sort of credit card, whatever. Now, I have gotten around this with some. This is sketchy. I can't believe I'm going to talk about this. Fuck it. Do it for the podcast. There was a couple times where on Facebook Messenger, I've got a lot of friends on Facebook, as you know, Dan. A lot of them are from different communities like Wasteland. Wasteland's a gold mine for this. I've sent you pictures of Wasteland stuff. You're like, oh my God, the women. And so I see a couple times, like one or two of them would say something like, hey, I'm a sex worker and stuff like that. I'm like, that's fine. Everybody knows, no big deal. And like, hey, I'm offering a special deal right now. I'll send you a couple spicy pictures right now for $5 right now, right here on Messenger. And I'm like, ooh, that's a good way to get around it because I can totally do it, support my friend, and just PayPal her like $5. So I pulled the trigger on that one. So this is a girl I know, dude. This is a girl I know and I see fucking Wasteland. And I love it. It was totally fine. And it was like, hey, it was a girl had really big boobs, And I was like thinking, I've always wanted to see her big boobs, And so what, I just send you $5 PayPal and you send me a couple pictures of your big boobs? Absolutely. Let's do this. I'm like, okay, everything's totally on the up and up. And I did, and ding, and all these pictures. I'm like, oh, this is great. This is great. And it's different when it's a girl that you know. But the funny thing about that is how completely cool it was. Like everything was completely, there was permission. Everyone had boundaries. It was no sketchy at all. And it was like, hey, thanks for supporting me. I'm like, oh, well, thanks for the little treat. I mean, that was nice. And then of course, that was nice. But the OnlyFans thing, if I did that, I would go down a dark hole of all my depraved, spicy things that I would be into. You know what I mean? I think it would go down a dark hole.
Yeah, I mean, that's a world that I'm not into at all. But you can use my login. I don't care.
Oh wow!
I don't get me on a watch list.
But then, it will put you on a watch list because then I was like, oh no, like I wonder, how does it show up on the billing end? Does it show like, hey, little people fuck party 5? Like, what happens? Like, does it show? Does it like list it? Like, what is this guy looking at? Because I don't want anyone to know what I'm looking at.
Nakedunderage.com. Yeah, I don't know.
It's nothing illegal. Like what I would look at is nothing illegal. It's just pretty strange, and you know how it is. There's a fetish. There's so many weird fetishes for every single. Like, guys are nuts. If there's a thing, like we learned about that from listening to Howard Stern. Like there's just crazy fetishes out there.
Yeah.
And every guy's have like these wild things. And
remember, Jeff the Vomit guy.
What did Jeff the Vomit guy like?
Oh, he wanted girls to puke on him.
Oh my God! You're right.
It's called an emetophile.
Yeah,
I'm an emetophile.
And that was a whole
thing. I like girls getting sick. And she had this thick New York accent. He was like, I like girls getting sick. Maybe there's a girl out there. Maybe there's a girl who's not so grossed out by the likes of me who'll vomit on me. Oh my God! Oh God, it was so funny.
But that's fine. I mean, whatever. If both parties are consenting to that, then it doesn't hurt anyone. It's not illegal. I don't care. It might be gross to me or you, but like, Anyway, that's the OnlyFans story. I love it. And by the way, so when Kara, your wife, was texting me, and I thought, what the fuck? And then she said something about you. She's like, yeah, Dan did this OnlyFans for research. He says he's doing it for research. And I was like, yeah, he's really. Well, she didn't think so.
No, I mean, it's not. She knows me. It's not that.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. It is funny.
And the other thing is like, no, it's just fascinating to me. I'm so fascinated by this idea of being a person whose entire gig is shaking your butt around and getting people.
Yeah, but it's such a big thing now, and I swear to God, if there was a market for me for doing, I would do it in a heartbeat tomorrow.
Well, yeah,
like course. I really would.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No one is looking. Look, no one is looking for gross 50-something plus dudes. They're not.
Nobody.
I did have one girl on my Facebook post said, yeah, if you could wear your Wasteland Gimp outfit and you could start an account, and that would generate some money. And I'm thinking, well, remember that one guy on Howard Stern that was like Jeff the Farter? And Jeff the Farter had something going on where he was just like a straight guy who farted. But remember, he had a following of like gay dudes. Like, and he went there.
That was Will the Farter. Yeah.
Oh, Will the Farter.
Yeah.
And
remember,
so, and he didn't like it too much.
Brutal Master. Brutal Master.
Brutal Master. Yeah. But he went down that wormhole because they were willing to pay him, and he didn't like it.
Yeah.
He wasn't a gay dude, but it's like, well, yeah, what will you do for money? I mean, he's like, okay. So I often wonder, like when I see people that are good looking enough to do this, to monetize it.
Look, God bless her. I'm just fascinated. That's all I'm saying is I'm fascinated.
It is fascinating.
Really. Look, what's so interesting about it is that you pay $20 and it's like the same thing. It would have been even weird. Like it would have been interesting in a different way if it's full, like whatever for the $20. But I just think that the whole $20 and you're getting a little more is like kind of on brand for that whole thing. That's all.
Yeah. Dan, when Dan was texting me about this, it came across as very cheap. Like, what do you mean? $5? This is all I get? I'm like, Dan, it's $5.
No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
I know. Just funny.
What I meant was, if you're going to go to the trouble of creating the account and having an OnlyFans and all this, it's interesting to me that it would be basically the same thing you're doing publicly on social media.
Yeah, but they're smart. They're smart marketers, and they know because they know. You know how it is when we get all charged up and you got a boner and you're jacking it, whatever. Like you'll start making bad decisions. You
will make.
And so what they do is they tier it up, right? So like, oh, you like this? How about this? $12 for this, and then so they have paywalls behind. You go up the ladder on how gross and depraved you want to get,
but how
and then you got to pay for that.
Depraved does it get? That's what I mean. I don't want to see it. I just want to know.
You're wondering on how hardcore it gets. Well, I mean, look, that's up to every individual.
Do I need to pay that $12 and see? I just can't. I can't. It's so gross. It's so.
But what do you get for $50? I know that like some of the girls that I know that do this have these tiers that go up. And if they really want to make some money, if they got a guy out there that's a real fan of them, and they can start making money off of this person, I know what they will do is they will have a special one-on-one session where you can do like this, like a FaceTime thing. And the dude can tell them what to do. Oh, do this, rub your foot for me or whatever. And they'll do it. And you got to pay a premium for that one-on-one time, just like anything else. Just like when you go to a strip club and then you say, hey, you want to go back to the private lounge for a little bit? Dan, I'll bring you to a strip club. And that's the whole thing, because there's the strip club and then she'll whisper in your ear, let's take this back to the private part. Let's have a private party. And then you got to go back to this little booth with a curtain around it. And that's where just the fun happens, Dan.
All right. Well, I'm anxious to hear what's on your mind, Bruce. I know something's happened. You've hinted something's going on. I need to hear about this. What's in the world?
So, I mean, this is a different topic. Okay. So this is a different topic and it has to do with my art, right? And so you're following my Facebook posts. You know that I'm out here and I'm making art and I'm trying to make a living being an artist. It's very hard to do. Right. Yes. And so a lot of it is making the art, and a lot of it, unfortunately, is marketing on social media. It's the part that I'm not good at. But you make something, and then you got to put it on social media, and fucking try to mix it up, and then you will sell it over social media too. And you just get people going, mixing it up over your artwork on social media. And I've been truly blessed because I've got over 2,000 friends on Facebook, and quite frankly, that's where the lion's share of all my sales come from. It's my Facebook friends. And quite frankly, it's a small core group that's always doing the buying. Repeat buyers. I thank them so much, dude. Like, you have no idea. Like, it's just like, thank God for them. But what gets me is, in all that, is that there's a couple people, there's one person in particular I'm thinking about, who likes to comment on my paintings and stuff like this. And it's very tough because this isn't Bruce just the person. This is Bruce the artist. So I have to be in sort of a mode where I'm not being too combative with anybody. You got to be nice because everyone's supporting your art and whatever. So I've got a couple people who there's one guy that likes to, you know that thing I texted you? Can you put that up?
Yeah.
It's the meme. It's the meme that I texted you. It's like,
yeah, I didn't necessarily agree with it, to be honest with you, but
I know, but I wanted to get your opinion on it, but it ties into what I'm going to talk about right here. Because I saw that I was getting annoyed at this one guy's comment. And there's a guy who continues to comment on my artwork, and he's a good guy. He's supportive, very supportive. But the tone of some of his comments are always like, okay, I'm going to read this. Here's a tweet. It says, I'll read it right now. I'm going to read the tweet. I was at a training once where the facilitator said, quote, unsolicited advice is criticism always, unquote. Half the room audibly gasped and objected. The other half shouted a chorus of yes, thank you, amen. She offered no quarter to the, quote, just being helpful brigade. It was glorious. So I thought about this tweet because I was, it relates to this one person who keeps commenting on my art. And they're like, this is so cool. They're being supportive, but always the second part of the sentence is like, you know what? You should push the contrast a little more. Have you thought about incorporating more contrast in your work? Or, you know, there's something to be said if you could push the realism aspect for some. It's always something, Dan. And it's
so you've got Salvador Dali on your Facebook feed.
No, I've got someone who always like. And it's
I think I know who you're talking about too. It's funny because
don't give it away.
I'm not. I noticed.
Yeah, but
I noticed it. I noticed it. I'm thinking. I remember seeing and thinking,
like, who is this fucking guy?
Like,
but there's a couple of them, but like, look, there's a couple people, and look, it's not all people. There's a couple of people, fellow artists, who will once in a while suggest something, and I'm like, you know what? I respect your opinion, fellow artist. You're a great guy. I will take that. That's a good idea. Thank you very much. But it's just when a casual viewer who has a habitual, every single time it's something, keep going, do this. You know what? Bravo. I need you to push yourself. I'm like, what are you? Then I get my East Coast starts to get, dude, my hackles go up. And I'm literally reading these Facebook pages and I'm saying to myself out loud, I'm like, what am I, a fucking puppet on a string? Who am I? Like, what am I, a marionette for you? Who? And by the way, who the fuck are you? Are you my art teacher? Like, and I get unnaturally, and it's funny because I start to get unnaturally upset. I get really upset. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy telling me what to do? And then I start going down a wormhole, a negative wormhole. I go on his Facebook page and I'm like, let's see what he's doing. What is this motherfucker doing? Right? And I don't see him doing any artwork or doing anything like this. And I really catch myself spinning. And then I get to like a fucking, and then serenity now. I got to turn into Kramer and just go serenity now, serenity now, serenity now. And so I thought a lot about this quote about unsolicited advice is always criticism. Now that goes hard. You know what I mean? That's pretty strong. And I wanted to ask you, I wanted to ask you your opinion on that.
Always. I don't like the word always.
Right.
I think that there is a lot of truth there. It's like anything else in life, man. It's hard. Nothing's black and white, you know?
Right.
I would say there is some truth there for sure. Yes.
I'm going to agree with you.
I would also say in the realm of art, it's inappropriate because there's no art by definition is subjective, right?
Yeah.
And I would never criticize or make some snide remark about somebody's art ever. I would say,
but it wasn't. I know what you're getting.
Or I would keep my mouth shut, but I wouldn't.
The funny thing is, it's so hard to be mean about it because the person is so. I mean, they will share my posts and say, "Hey, I need you to go ahead and support my friend Bruce and stuff like that."
No, I get it. I get what you're saying. Like the intention was good. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
But it's habitual because at the end there's always like a first sentence and the second sentence, and the second sentence is definitely always like, you know what? I really like this direction you're going to. Have you considered pushing the boundaries of X so and so far? Hey, and like this and like that's right. We'll keep working this angle, like clapping me along like a fucking coach. They're trying to clap me along, Dan.
Clapping you along.
Hey, do this. I'm like, dude, motherfucker, don't you clap me along. I know quite well what I'm doing over here. And so it's strange. And I try to catch myself and try to be like, Bruce, examine yourself here. Is this a defective character? Are you letting this drive you nuts? And the answer is yes. It's definitely driving me a little nuts. The guy probably doesn't know he's doing it, whatever. And there's a lot of people who tell me other things. Like I have a cousin, Laura. I love my cousin, Laura. And she texted me and she said, hey, she's a huge supporter of my art. She goes, you're not charging enough. You're absolutely not charging enough on this art. And I'm like, 100% you're right. I understand why you say that. You know, and I respect her opinion 100%. And she's right. But this is something different. This is sort of a like, this person is an artist as well, the other person, and they're definitely trying to tell me what to do. And I don't know, dude. And I thought about this and I was like, I struggle with it. And you're right. Unsolicited advice is criticism always. The word always is a little, you're right. But it's like, I'm going to say most of the time, yeah. And I've seen people respond to this tweet and say stuff like, well, what if someone has like a bee in their hair and I'm not supposed to say, hey, you know, you should really brush your hair. I'm like, no, that's different. That's like that's being good human. That's a safety thing. Hey, there's a bee in here. I need you to brush it off. You know, something like that. But I think we know where we're getting with this. And I was curious to hear your opinion on it. It pretty much syncs up on my own.
My opinion on it with regard to art is the same. I agree with 100%. But
yeah,
in general, I would say this. We live in a world right now where self-awareness is in very short supply and where people tend to be extremely sensitive, even in situations where they're wrong and I generally, it can be both, right? It can be a douchey thing to do, but it can also doesn't mean they're wrong. And I don't mean about art. I don't mean about art, but I mean it in general in life, right? Right. If somebody gives you unsolicited advice, it might be douchey, but it doesn't mean they're wrong, right? And that's kind of where I'm at. And I just feel like I look at this.
Well, I mean, but I agree with this. I definitely agree with this, that it is criticism. You know what I mean? Like, and I will say not always, but an overwhelmingly majority of like 90%, it's criticism. So if someone is like, and it's usually like, hey, I see your, you know, you're starting an online business where you are like walking dogs. Oh, that's great. Yeah, you know what you should do? You should do blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know what? No. Like there's got to be a better way to say it, or
you need context, man. There's a million different situations where someone could give unsolicited advice. There's 1,000 different like situations. Yeah. There's so many. Maybe there's a person who's being a dick to someone else and they're not getting the reaction they want. And you say to the person being a dick, hey man, maybe you dial it down a bit. That's unsolicited advice, but you're right. You're not wrong. So like,
yeah,
I don't like that. I appreciate the sentiment behind what this girl is saying. I do.
Yeah.
But my attitude is, and I'm a guy in my life who has been given unsolicited advice more times than I can count because I've always struggled socially and I've got a lot of flaws like anyone does. And I've gotten to a point in my life where I almost like criticism because I feel like it's probably something I need to hear like a lot of the time. Again, not with art, but very often in my life, very often, I've been given unsolicited advice that I didn't like. But honestly, looking back as a 50-year-old now, it's probably something I needed to hear a lot of the time.
I mean, that's good. That's really good that you had the self-awareness and the growth at this age to be, you know, keyed in on that, because so often many dudes within our age range, they might be made aware of something, and instead of having the maturity to go, let me think about that, I think you might be right. The instant sort of impulse for dudes our age is to just double down and be like, that's bullshit. You're wrong. That's bullshit. You know, without having the maturity to sort of like, and it's uncomfortable to think that there might be some things about you that are wrong that you need to maybe work on or whatever. And that other person, it's easier to say, fuck that. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine just the way I am, you know, accept me, flaws and all, like all that kind of shit. And so it's good to hear you say that, Dan.
Look, man, I'm at a point in my life where I generally look at myself first if I'm in a situation, and I say, okay, let's see if I did say something bad or do something bad, because I'm socially awkward. I say bad shit all the time, so I always have to check myself. And so I'm used to that. And like for me, even though I might not like it, I try as much as I can to be open to the fact that person might be right, and it might be something I need to hear. And I don't like the idea, well, it's always criticism, so shut up. I don't like that. I mean, with art, I would agree. If you're going to an artist and maybe you make it, it's like, fuck off. Like, the whole point of art is that it's your idea and what you're doing. I mean, that's the whole point of it. And so I would never in a million years criticize an artist or say anything.
It's like art or music or writing or anything even podcasts, which is a creative outlet, right? Like imagine if we had someone come in here and be like, hey, you know what you guys should do is you should make your like logo a little bit bigger, and then you know what you should do is really like moving along and do this and be like, bitch, no, this is me and Dan's thing that we do. And that's what we do, and we make the rules. It's creative. So that's all I got. I had to vent about that. You know, the fucking.
I would just say in general. I mean, looking at this girl in the picture on this tweet, I just feel it in my bones. It's like that millennial kind of, I don't want to hear it. Criticism. I mean, criticism doesn't feel good, but that doesn't mean the person's wrong. And I just think it's always helpful, even if a person's an asshole. Even just ask yourself the question: is there something there I can learn from this? And
well, sure, but I mean, all right, devil's advocate. How about this? If you're a young woman who's a millennial, we don't live in that space. You probably live in a world where there's just tons of older dudes like, hey, you know what you should do? You know what you should do? You know what you should do? And she's probably like, and that goes into the world of mansplaining, which is a thing. So definitely she probably has got a lot of this bullshit. Hey, honey, you know what you should do? Huh?
Take gender out of it. I hear you. Take gender out of it, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I get annoyed at this whole idea that, oh, everybody's great and you're great just the way you're great and I'm great and we're all great. No, we're not. We're all flawed.
Right.
We all have things we need to improve about ourselves. Everybody.
But my thing is, if somebody's flawed and I notice it, I'm not going to say anything. You know what I mean? Like it's not my.
No, it depends on the context.
Not my journey.
No.
Yeah.
It depends on the context. It depends on the context. Of course, you're not going to offer unsolicited advice about just anything. But like you say with the millennials, like I don't like when our generation screams at them, "Get a job." Like these people have had it a lot harder than we did, economically.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
They didn't come into the world we did, where it was much easier to get a job. Right? I get
easier.
That part. That's not fucking helpful criticism. Helpful criticism might be. I don't want to give an example, but there's plenty of things in life.
No, I totally 100% agree with you. I agree with you. So what else? So
I don't like always. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah. No, we're basically on the same page with that. And I had a feeling you would be. But what else you got? Now you got something else going on
this week. Little game called Who's the Goy?
Oh my God.
Who's the Goy? Who's the Goy? Who's the Goy? Ready?
By the way, before we get, I've had a lot of people. I've had one person tell me, "Are you sure you're not Jewish? Are you sure?" Because I was talking and telling stories and my mannerisms, and I was talking about. I was using the word crabby and something, and I was talking with somebody out here, my friend Ezra, and Ezra's Jewish, and he goes, "Are you sure you're not Jewish? Like, because you really sound like one of my uncles." And I said, well, it's because the neighborhood. Because of the neighborhood I grew up with, really. But no, I'm just
the lingo. You know the lingo, but no, you're Goy.
Yeah,
please, you're the king. But I don't know, man. I might have you beat now.
I'm the king.
I might have you beat now.
All right, now what are we doing?
So I'm showing you a picture of what's going to be my new homes in a few months.
Oh, okay. Now this calls back to the last conversation we had about the land, where I had this great idea where you're going to get 2 little trailers. That didn't work out. So now you're looking at these fucking monstrosities. So he's now showing me these pictures of these 40-foot pullouts. Okay, so
the 2 trailers is what I wanted to do. It is not permissible by the county.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to have one. I'm not allowed to have 2. So I wanted to. believe me, I was on board. So
yeah,
we found this one. It's a year old. It's a good deal, you know. And look, this thing
how
is nice,
big
but
is it? What is it? 40-footer?
No, it's a 34. I think 34.
It's huge. I could see that it's got a pull out.
3 pullouts. So
Jesus Christ.
it's a 34, 3 pullouts. I mean, you'll see the picture. I mean, this in many ways this is nicer than my house, right? So it's super nice.
I know, but I'm gonna try to guess the price on this. Keep going.
So
this is
the plan is
1 year old. 1 year old.
It's a 23.
God damn. Jesus.
So the
Christ.
plan is we're building a house. I'm going to sell the house I'm in, but if I sell the house I'm in, I got to live somewhere. So we're going to put this trailer on our land. We're going to live in the trailer while the house is being built. It's got a king bed. It's got like a decent sized little bedroom, enough for a king bed. It's got a nice living room, little island in the kitchen. I mean, it's basically like a small 1-bedroom apartment. Basically.
And it's got like I'm sure it's got another little nook on the other end of the house. So if Kara's in the master bedroom here, you can go on the other end of the trailer where that couch is and do your work. And
yeah,
you stay either end. That'll work.
Yes. So, it's going to be a little adventure, but these things are nice, man. They're nice. I mean,
can I guess the price?
You want to guess it?
Let me ballpark it. Okay. Ready?
Okay. All right.
120K.
No. You crazy? No.
80K.
No. Less.
What?
Yeah. Hey,
okay.
Hey, Heeb. Heeb. I got a deal on it.
You got it. Yeah. All right. So who's the goy? I don't understand how this relates to who's the goy.
No, because look, the Heeb is going to be living in an RV. That's not very Heeby of me.
Oh, so I thought. Okay.
I mean, I think while I'm living in this,
you don't think this RV, is very Heeby? Hold on.
No.
Heeby is the word. Are we using the word Heeby like a fucking adjective? Like Heeby? Like
no, living in an RV is very goy. So we're going to be the Goy and Goy show while I'm living in this RV.
Yeah, but if there was a Heeby trailer, this is it. I mean, look at this. It's immaculate. I mean, come on. It's got track lighting. This thing is it's not giving trailer at all. It looks like a fucking really, really nice house.
It does.
Probably. I mean, if it's probably got widescreen TVs. It's got it's got a kitchen. Let me explain to the audience. It's got a kitchen island on hardwood floors with track lighting.
No, it's not hardwood. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, it is a very nice trailer.
I mean, you got a couple of sofas. You got a big screen TV. Yeah, look, man, I was not sold on this till I got in these things. And I mean, it is nice. So we're going to keep it a year, play your cards right. Maybe old Brucey brings his truck. You can take it. You want to, make it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see your trailer. Come on, man. You can.
That's too. I mean, I want to get a trailer, but the one that I'm looking at, like the one that I'm going to live in full time when Ro and I sell the house, you're going to laugh.
Like a fifth of this size.
It's a fifth. Yeah, I'm looking at a 17-footer. I want a 17-footer because I want to pull it all the time with my I'm going to get like an SUV or whatever, a pickup truck. And so I want to be able to pull it. And it's not going to have any mod cons in it. I don't want a black water tank, a gray water tank. I don't want a fucking generator. I certainly don't want a microwave or a television. Nothing. I don't want any of that shit. But this is nice. If you're going to live for a year, and I know you like to live comfortably, as the Heeb would, because he's worked hard in his life and he is used to a certain amount of comfort. So is his wife. So, I mean, this is going to have a full flushing toilet and fucking probably got like a Wi-Fi center and everything. This is like a nice little house, and I can see it's got like an awning thing that goes out.
It'll be good.
No, wait, what happens to the pigs though? When do you build a fence around it? The pigs will go.
The plan is this: we have to build a barn first for the pigs. The pigs are going to have their permanent home. We're building that first, so we're going to build a barn, just a metal building, and the pigs are going to move. And then we're going to move there too. So I'm working on the permits right now because they don't like to give.
How big is the barn going to be?
The barn will be around 400 square feet.
Had an idea. You ever watch the movie Snatch with Brad Pitt?
No.
There's a big barn that they have, and they could put little trailers inside the barn. So you build a big barn, then you get a little trailer, you put it inside the barn. It could be Dan's handy jack shack, and you live in there with the pigs. And
you got to be careful. So not to go down the weeds here, but they will not give you a permit to build a barn until you have a house. But I'm not going to have a house right away. So I found a loophole that if you're using the
What's
barn
the loophole?
If you're using the barn for agricultural purposes, they'll let you do it, which I am. They're pigs. I'm letting pigs live there. That's agriculture.
Right.
So
do they, are they going to have some fucked up, differentiate between livestock animals that you're going to harvest for meat or pets? Or do they care?
I don't think it matters, because from the point of view of ag, that whether I'm working with an organization to rehome pigs, which is what I do, or whether I'm cutting them up and eating them, it doesn't matter. It's still ag. So
okay, that works.
I asked the guy like verbally, he said, yeah, that's ag. So yeah, we'll see. I applied for this permit exemption. If I get it, this is on. Like, as soon as I get that, okay, we're going to build this barn. We should be living in that trailer in the next 60 to 90 days.
Oh, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got to buy it for your house yet, do you?
Well, no, we're going to put the house in the market. No, we're going to put the house in the market next month.
Oh, I see.
We're going to put the house in the market in April, hopefully get a buyer. It'll close in, May, June, and we'll be out by then.
Now, Dan, all this are you stressed? I mean, how are you doing as a person? Because I know this is very stressful.
It is stressful, but I'm saying to myself this, right? After this year, I will have sold my house. I will have sold all my rental properties to pay for this. Once this year's over, I am golden, doing great. But for the next 6 months, it's going to be touch and go. A little stressful.
Yeah. Well, you're my friend. I hope you're okay with all that.
But look, man. I have perspective. Like this, my troubles are nothing compared to what most people are dealing with. And I'm basically, I should not have a problem selling all these properties. I should be in good shape by the end of the year. Everything will be good. It's a little lean until then, but then I'm fine. Most people are dealing with way worse troubles. Look at you, man. You're out there selling art for $20 and living on a shoestring. So we all have our
what's funny? It's no. It's funny. I am so fucking poor now, but what's funny? I've never been happier in my whole life, and I should have done this so much earlier in life, and it's because of COVID that sort of made everyone sort of look at the forest for the trees. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? And I love that COVID happened. I love that happened, and it put a reset on everything, and it's just crushing like these fucked up ways that we all sort of would live life. I have another little announcement. I don't know. This is no big deal. I'm just going to be happy about it.
Ooh, wow. That's amazing.
Today is my sobriety birthday. So 19 years ago today, Dan, I walked out of the county jail after doing 2 weeks in the county jail. And
where was that? It's
in Moab, Utah.
It was in Moab. Okay.
I did because I got 2 back-to-back DUIs within 2 months. They threw me in jail for only 2 weeks, and I was terrified. And that's a whole nother podcast. I got a lot of jail stories, whatever. But it was no big deal, really. In fact, I got a lot of reading done. It was nice. But anyway, so I walked out of there and I said, what? I'm fucking done with the drinking and getting high all the time. And cigarettes, too. That was the hardest one. So on that one day when I walked out, it was done. All that. And it's been 19 years. And that's shocking to me that it's been that long. For a long time, I didn't think I could even go. There were 2 decades back to back where I couldn't go 19 hours without getting high. And that is true.
I was once told by a guy about cigarettes because I've never tried any of these things.
Oh, they're the worst.
I've been told by a guy. He said to me, "You know how to get somebody let's say you got somebody who's trying to quit smoking. You know how you get him to start smoking?" I said, "How?" He goes, "Ask him
to stop or start."
No, if you have someone who's trying to stop,
right?
And the guy said to me, "You know how to get him to start again, right?" I go, "How?" Just ask them if they want a cigarette.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I'm thinking about taking up smoking. What do you think of that?
It would make you look cooler. I
I think
mean,
so.
you know, you got a pen right there? Put a pen in your mouth. I want to see what this looks like. You got something. You got a bad technique, bro. You got to.
Yeah, I know. I got to work on it.
You got a bad. What you need? Hold on. What you need to get are these.
You like that?
Okay. Okay. So these are minted toothpicks. You see that?
Yeah.
And so when I go to the store and I buy these and I pack them like it's been 19 years. It's been 19 years, and every single time, if you run into me over the past 19 years, I've got these on me.
I've noticed that. I never thought about why.
I never, because every time we do a podcast, I always have these things. I rail through them. And I think it's like the oral fixation and stuff like this.
Yeah, of course.
And they tell you like lollipops are good and candies are good. And I never like that. But the toothpicks are pretty good. So I use these a lot. And
I just figure I'm 50. I can't do much damage and I'll look cool. What do you think?
Smoking it's gross, but it also like, I don't know, man, because like there's some people that like, you know how like some people stop smoking and they're repelled, like, oh, someone's smoking cigarettes. It's so gross. Yeah, like ex-smokers are usually the worst. Ex-smokers are the worst because they're like, somebody smoking cigarettes. It's so gross. I see some people that are smoking cigarettes. Dude, I stand next to them. I would go like this. I'm like, oh yeah. But it doesn't make me want to smoke. I just definitely like the secondary smoke smell to some extent. That's not true with weed. Because weed was the number one thing I struggled with, you know, and even out here at East Jesus, or no matter, like it's fucking legal now. Weed is legal now. I could have never predicted this a couple decades ago. What a great time to fucking quit. Now it's fucking legal. And everywhere I go, there are billboards. Like, get
I hate the smell. I hate the smell of that shit. Hate it.
Oh, it drives me nuts. And so, like, I smell it and now I'm like, it reminds me of how I was just it was a ball and chain. Like, I couldn't not have it. For fucking 20 years, dude. And so, yeah, I just wanted to just make a little shout out to me. Whoop, whoop. Look at me. I've got a couple Facebook friends who like, oh, you want your fucking keychain? Oh, good for you. Good for you. I'm like, yeah, fuck, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to be proud of this. I'll allow myself that.
Wait, who would shit on you for that?
Oh, Facebook.
What? dude, quitting shit like that is like the hardest thing. I've watched people quit everything from alcohol, cigarettes. It is fucking ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
Like anyone who's had I'm lucky. I've never been addicted to anything. I don't have that kind of personality. I've never tried weed. I've never tried cigarettes. I've never tried anything. Right. But
that's amazing to me when people say that.
But I've seen it enough to know that addiction is a motherfucker.
Oh.
And people who are prone to it, and I have family and friends who are, and I've seen it. And like the people who are able to beat it, like for a long period of time, like you have, that is impressive as shit to me. So like, that's more impressive than anything I've ever done. That's for fucking sure.
So, I mean, and then no, you get hate like, oh, you have weak will. You know, people on Facebook have horrible comments. You know what I mean? Like, you can't handle your alcohol. What kind of Irishman are you? You know, like what kind of? Seriously, what kind of Irishman are you? Can't handle your beer. What the fuck? What do you want, a fucking cookie? And it's like, Jesus Christ, man, fuck you. I gotta get off of Facebook, dude. It's the worst.
One of the few positives of our society, which has become so like weak and wimpy in a lot of ways, one of the few positives I will say is we do recognize mental illness and addiction as what they are, which is legit illnesses like anything else, and you treat it as such. And so addiction,
there's a lot of the stigma is going away from it, which is great. Like we're fixing. Look, there are problems in society that we've decided that we're going to fix. And like our attitudes towards mental illness is one of them. Because, when we were growing up, there was just like, you know what? This person's crazy. That's
tough
it.
Shit.
They're crazy. Why don't you toughen up? Why don't you fucking rub some dirt on it and fucking, hey, stop crying. Stop crying and go to school. And I just think,
cry about.
I'll give you something fucking cry about. And it's like, dude, that's just amazing.
No, the one thing I've kind of taken from this that I've noticed in my life is that some people are lucky and they're just not prone to that. Like me, I'm not prone to it for whatever reason. I drank a lot in college. I was very into having a good time and doing all that, but it was never a problem for me. I never developed an issue or a problem of any kind. But then I had friends who really it was a problem. It's definitely something in people's makeup. I think you're born with it. I do. I 100% think you're born with it. I don't think it's a choice. I mean, it's a choice to an extent, but I think once you've gone down, I mean, when you're fucking 18 years old, 20 years old, you don't know shit about yourself. So like, it's not.
I mean, you're right. It's definitely. I really think it's something in your DNA or something. There's probably a bit of a social construct to it, but not too much. I know that all 4 of my grandparents had addiction issues. I know all 4 of them did.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, so if I'm half Scottish and half Irish, and they're both drinking vodka on both sides, straight vodka, there's a good chance.
Yeah.
You know.
But then there's other people who are able to drink their ass off or smoke.
Oh, my sister. Sister's the same way. She didn't fucking get it. Like,
they're able to do it, right? It is an interesting thing. It's something I am fortunate that that wasn't an issue for me, but I know people it was, and anyone who would shit on a person who got sober that's fucking awful. Like, that's terrible. I mean, dude, if I had to deal with the physical pain, the physical, discomfort of quitting a drug that you're addicted to, I'm a complete wimp. I'd be in the hospital. I'd be like, I mean, anyone who's done that to me, I mean, that's fucking hard. So I don't get it.
It's fucked up. I just woke up this morning and I was like, fuck, dude, 19 years ago today. That's a long ass time. And then I was looking at myself in the mirror. We got this mirror outside and the sun is shining on me, and like my hair's growing in on the side. It's fucking all gray. There's so much gray in my hair. And it's like it's on the top, but it's mainly like on the side. There's like a lot of gray. And then like when the beard starts growing in, I could tell that I would have like a Sopranos kind of a beard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gray.
Me
I'm
too.
like,
yeah.
Oh,
sucks.
So, there's nothing left for us except for a few joys on OnlyFans, No,
I mean, there's the sad reality. If we're being really honest with ourselves, if we're going to be really honest, we've got 10 to 15 more good years, probably.
10 to 15? That's it?
Good years. Good. Where you're not like...
I know some 72-year-olds that are in really great shape.
There are, of course, yes. But what's the average of that, thow? Take the average 72-year-old.
I know. I'm already on 3 pills right now. I'm already on fucking...
I mean, I'm just saying, I just being
honest. Which is why I'm like, you know what? It's time to live life now. Like this whole idea, like we used to, who Susie Orman is?
Oh, yeah.
The financial advice. Me and Ro used to watch this like 10 years ago. And Susie Orman's always on TV, and we followed her shit, and it was like, you need to save money for retirement. You need to have at least $1.5 million to retire comfortably at age 72, right? And so, like, we were all doing that. I'm like, I don't think I want to live that life. Like, I don't like, tomorrow's not even fucking guaranteed. So, yes, I'm dead broke right now, and I'm just, but this is fun. I'm in East Jesus, and I'm just making art, and
I think it's a balance, man. It's a balance. I mean, you don't want to be reckless and stupid, but at the same time, like you said, you never know what's going to happen. And like, you can't take it with you. And like saving all this money is great. And don't get me wrong, you need money, but like,
it just wasn't as important as I thought it was. You know what I mean? Like
all those financial people where their entire advice, like their entire sphere of advice is get out of debt, save all this money, get out of debt, save all this money, get out of debt, save all this money. I mean, I hear you, and but I just think we're living in different times now.
Yeah, I mean, plus there's save your money, get out of debt. My whole thing is like stand way back and look at the big picture. I've been doing this with a lot of different things, right? The way we live our life, certain situations, stands way back and look at the forest for the trees. And don't get caught on little, like, what about saving money and the debt, blah, blah, blah. Well, stand back and be like, okay, we're on this planet. And part of it is because I'm getting very, I'm out here in the desert and sort of your mind goes places, whatever. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, really, what the fuck are we? I'm on this planet for a very short time, So, I don't know, but we've had an interesting show, talked about a lot of interesting things. I want to get back to you on let's get back to the OnlyFans thing because I want to go down this road. I want to go down this road. I have yet to pull the trigger on an OnlyFans thing. And you know
Bruce,
what?
I'm done with it, so I will give you my login if you would like to go on there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited. So here's what we're gonna do, and we'll figure out a way that I can pay you that Ro doesn't know about it. But but here's what I want to do. I want to go down this road, and I will do it half for my own pleasure and half for doing research for the podcast. And I will get some things that are very very strange. I'm going to go down some strange roads. I mean, we're looking at a nice, attractive young woman right here. It's very nice. It's very, but I'll tell you, Dan, to say in the community, it's very vanilla. That is very vanilla.
What does that mean? Well, vanilla? Of course it's vanilla. That's the whole point of the segment, is that you're getting basically her instead of in a. Yeah,
but there are darker roads. There are darker pleasures and darker roads we can go down that are not vanilla. And I have the Wasteland community to thank about that. And I also have, my time in Grotus and playing in industrial music to think about that. I've seen things. I feel like the guy in Hellraiser, there's so many pleasures I could show you, Dan.
Look, man, if you want to use my account, you go nuts. If I see like $5,000 bill on there, I might have to fly out there.
No, what's my ceiling? Let me put a ceiling on it.
We gotta. I'll talk to the wife about that, because she.
Oh, don't get her involved. I don't want her to know what I'm looking at. It's bad enough.
We wouldn't. No, we never know what you're looking at. I would just know how much you're spending.
It's bad enough she knows I wanted to look at midgets, aka little people. Like it's bad enough. That's definitely a bucket list.
I mean, as long as you don't get me on a watch list, it's fine.
It's not an illegal. It's not a watch list or whatever. There was a time where I was touring with Grotus, and we were in Milwaukee, and we had some, I'm not going to call them groupies, but there were just some chicks that were interested in us, and one of them was a little person.
Oh no.
And it unleashed a world of fantasy in my head. Oh, no. And I was like, oh man, wonder what that would be like. Let me go down that road, whatever. And long story short, it never happened. But to this day, I haven't stopped thinking about it. So shout out to my little people community. You know what I mean? That'd be nice. That's one of many questionable things. But this right here, she's really nice. She's a nice young lady, Dan. $20. I like that. This is bullshit. $5 for this?
No. I wanted to show free.
Yeah.
$20.
Right.
Free.
Did I show you the funny? Okay.
$20.
But did I show you the Facebook Reels that I'm getting shown? Like, if you're getting shown that, Facebook knows what you like. Did I show you?
How? I don't. That's not why. Why?
Because Dan, they know.
When I log in,
I don't know how they know. I don't know. They know. I know that somehow, all of a sudden, there are full-figured, thick Asians all over my feed, and I'm like, "Wow, what a coincidence!
Yeah,
how do they know that? How do they know that?
Yeah, it's disturbing, man. It's disturbing. So,
but I'm for it. I don't care.
We're gonna wrap it on that, but it's been a nice episode 14 and 19.
I'll be back. I'll be back home next time we do this.
A week from Sunday, we're back on the horse. That is that'd be the 24th.
Right.
That's the day.
Are we going to get? When are we interviewing your niece's friends?
I am actually going to contact her this week because I think it's time.
My God, I'm nervous about that one.
Yeah. We'll get some views though. Get some views.
Yeah. Right. Maybe they can give me some OnlyFans advice. Do you think they have OnlyFans pages? Oh God.
No.
Yeah, but a lot of them do, man. Most girls do.
No.
You'd be surprised how many people have OnlyFans.
No way. No. Mm-hmm. Now look, I don't know her friend that well. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think so. I met her mom. I don't think so.
Let me just give you, before we depart, look for the term spicy links. That is code talk for go to my page for my spicy.
That's where links. To spend $20 to see me.
That's where they're going to have. That's where they're going to have links. Like OnlyFans is a link. They might have Patreon. They might have other things that are sort of like that. And those are the links that you can go on, and they call them spicy because it's a little, X-rated.
Like
well, that's not X-rated, but that's spicy.
Oh. All right. Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'll get with them and see if they want to a week from Sunday and be a guest on the Goy and Goy. By then, it's the Goy and Goy because I will own the RV by then. So,
and you'll always be the Heeb. Get out of here. That RV is Heeb as hell, dude.
If you say so.
Yeah, it is. There's practically a big Star David on the side of it. Very Heeb.
Should I put a Star David on it?
Should put a big, get some graphics.
Maybe a mezuzah. Yeah. Got to do a mezuzah.
What is a mezuzah?
You don't know what a mezuzah is?
No.
A mezuzah is it's a little thing that has a tiny little copy of the Torah in it, and you put it on your door. You put it along your door.
Is it a three-dimensional object?
Yes.
Okay.
And you put it on, I forget, it's in the Bible somewhere you're supposed to do this. You're basically supposed to put this somewhere on your door, your front door, which is basically telling the world, I'm a Jew, which is stupid. Stupid. So I don't personally come out on a mezuzah, but if big time Jews have mezuzahs, yeah,
big time.
So if I put a mezuzah on an RV, I'm telling you, if there's another person with a mezuzah on an RV in this country, there might be.
I'd be surprised.
Yes, I think that's a bucket list thing. I once had a mezuzah on an RV. That is a bucket list thing. I really think.
Bro, I need a mezuzah.
You tell everyone and wait. I know a guy who has a mezuzah on an RV.
Oh my God.
No, it's crazy.
Wow. Yeah. A mezuzah, yeah. Because, RVs are very goyim. That's for sure. Buddy, I'll let you go, man.
Now I got to show you what a mezuzah looks like.
Yeah, let me see a mezuzah. They look like the Asian counterpart would be like these little sort of Asian good luck charms that they have. They're usually on a red string. It's like a little gold, fucking doodad. Good luck charms. They're very big in the Asian community. We have those all over the fucking house. I love those things. I guess that would be the Asian counterpoint of a mezuzah. And by the way, it's fun. That's a fun word to say, dude. That's a good word. It's a fun word. Mezuzah.
Find one where you can really get a sense
mezuzah.
Here's a good one.
Let's see the mezuzah.
Okay, here we go. So again, I'm trying not to hate. I'm trying not to hate, but it's like you're just telling everyone you're Jewish. And it's like in this day and age, I don't know that's such a good idea.
Yeah. Well, of course, I mean the Catholic thing is the big cross. It looks like a cigarette. That's a mezuzah?
Yeah, it's about 4 inches long. It's made of, sometimes it's metal, sometimes it's like wood. There's a million.
But hold on. It looks like a cigarette. Do you take it out and there's a scroll in there? Like it's rolled up?
There's a scroll.
Like a little, like a note, like a small piece of paper, and it's like unroll it, and it's a scroll.
Yes, there's a scroll, and
it's not the whole Torah in there. It's just like a little written thing.
It's the whole Torah, but it's tiny. It's like it's really, really small.
What?
But I mean, dude, people have here.
Wow, I'm thinking, isn't the Torah like a huge book like the Bible? How do they?
It is, but if you shrink it like tiny, here we go.
Jesus Christ!
Here, watch this. So
the mezuzah, dude.
You never heard of a mezuzah?
I can't. I know the title of this is going to be like Onlyfans and mezuzahs.
So you see how?
Oh, that one's a little more stylistic with a piece of wood.
So
mezuzah.
That's wood, but you can see in it. See?
Oh, okay. You bust it open.
Yeah. $185 for that one. That one's walnut. So you put it on your door. Yeah, you put.
I gotta get in the mezuzah business. I mean,
you should get in the mezuzah business. You should get into the mezuzah business. The goy mezuzah.
Dude, this goy needs to break into the mezuzah business, and they just seem so plain, dude.
Mezuzah art.
Well, why are they so plain? Why one looks like a cigarette, the other one looks like a fucking one-hitter.
You're gonna make me find you. I mean, there's a million of them. I mean,
I want because the Asian ones that hang down are usually like red and they're very pretty. You see them in Chinatown and these fun things that hang down. I'm disappointed by the artistic boringness of the mezuzah. It looks like you could do so much more with it.
No. So if you go to like Wikipedia, you see how there's different kinds. Like there's a stone one, there's like a marble one.
They really look like drug paraphernalia. There's something called a
It does, and there's like they're putting it on their door. He's got his hat, There's one there. There's another one there.
Yeah,
there's so many types of mezuzahs. The one we as a kid looked kind of like that.
See, that one is the most visually appealing. That one looks nice, but it looks like a harmonica. right?
It does they do look like a harmonica.
I mean, it looks like a harmonica. All right. I'm breaking in the Mezuzah business.
I might have to get a Mezuzah for the RV just to say that I did.
You should, because who the fuck? I don't know what that is. It looks like it's a fucking part of the trail. The white one looks super boring. Nobody would ever. Does it have to be at an angle like that? Why is it at an angle? That looks like
that's a good question. No, I don't think so.
But I saw a lot of them that you just showed right now have it at an angle, as if
it's one of those things where if you read Leviticus or wherever the hell in the Torah it says you have to do this, there's probably some like loophole-y law thing where
it's like
37-degree angle.
Well, like it's a horseshoe, and you got to hang the horseshoe like this because it holds the good luck in the horseshoe. I have
never owned a mezuzah. My parents
like some fakakta.
Yeah, I wonder if young Jews still do the mezuzah. It's a good question.
I'm gonna ask Ezra, who is here. He's 22. He's a young Jew.
If he has one on his hub.
Oh, he's gonna know what a mezuzah is. He wears a Star David necklace around. He's gonna know what a mezuzah is.
He'll know. But does he have one? Does he have one?
I will add.
I want you to tell Ezra that your Jewish counterpart is going to get a mezuzah for the RV just to say that he did.
Yeah. Then because he lives in an RV right over there too, I'll ask him. I'm like, hey, do you have a mezuzah?
No, you go up to his door. You look at both the door jamb. You look at the left. You look at the right, and you say, "Hey,
should be one there. Why don't you have a mezuzah?
Donde está la mezuzah?" That's what you say. Yeah.
Well, Goyams have these horrible, crucifixes up everywhere, and even as a little kid, I remember looking.
Well, those are violent. There's like a guy hanging from horrible. Whereas like a mezuzah is like
mezuzah, so even as a little kid, you look at this sculptural object, and it's like very skinny Jesus. He's got blood. A lot of times they paint the red. Right, coming out of it, he's up there. And he's looking down at you. So and they always hang it right above your bed, right above your pillow. So when you're a little boy like me, I'm lying in bed and you're looking up. You see this thing looking down at you.
Oh no!
It's fucking scary.
No, you Goyim. I mean, it is. Look, I'll make fun of the mezuzah all day, but that shit is way worse.
No, it's horrible. Why would we put? And then we all wear the cross around our neck, like, oh. This is like a torture device. You know what I mean? Like, it's why are we wearing a torture device? Should we have something nicer? Nicer, maybe.
That's the whole point. Is he had that the whole ethos of the religion is he had to go through that
suffering, and pain, suffering and pain.
All right, man.
It's no wonder why we're so Dan. It's no wonder why we're so fucked up.
Yes, correct. Number 14 in the books, the mezuzah. That'll be the mezuzah on the RV will be the name.
Mezuzah, Onlyfans, little people.
Yeah, little people. You should ask the little people if they'll put a mezuzah like on their butt or whatever. Hey, all right, man.
All right,
hope everyone has a nice week. We will see you everyone a week from Sunday, which is the 24th.
Yes.
Peace
out.